You just want to... Actually, no, not even that. I'm going to actually scrap that entirely because it got Zhana to actually create that peeling scenario for the team. So this Lee Sin is purely an engaged champ. That's going to be the main idea for that. The peeling comes out from the Zhana. You can still peel away with the Dragon.
Second game, and I think if they can survive the early game, we saw that Singularity were able to take the objective control. If they're able to take the objective control on a much more even footing, I think that it'll work out much better for them, rather than being behind and fighting into every early fight from a couple bit of a deficit from items, from that slight gold deficit, which is so impactful even at a couple hundred gold at the beginning.
I'm just in love with Vi. Not in that sense. I do really like her, and I think she looks really good. But as a champion, mainly, I'm trying to say that Vi, as a solo target engaged, is just absolutely amazing. And into the likes of the Kaiser, into the likes also of Zor on this Orianna, I think that Vi is going to be a hidden winning condition if he's able to get ahead. The issue with Vi is that if she falls behind, she just gets bursted before ultimate has time to connect. So I'm looking out for her, seeing if she can get herself in a good spot. I would even say just avoid fights as much as possible early on in Vi and try and get to that level 5 power spike. You maybe got level 5, gank. Every single opportunity you might get with those engages on the ulti are going to be so valuable for your team. So I'm looking out for the Vi and see if she can indeed do that and deny Redemption and Zao from a strong performance. Is he going to try and go for it? For jungle clear, Vex, got to be very careful. Nice backup from Grizz to help and assist in that position. And nothing will be lost or won as the blue buff goes the way of Vex. So that's going to be a good invade from him. But Lee Sin did the exact same thing, ditto that, for a difference, as also got a blue and a red buff on himself.
Yeah, crucial that Vi is able to pick up that cross-map pressure on Lee Sin's blue side jungle, but it will be that first scuttle initially to go over to Lee Sin. Lee Sin's going to make his way up to the top side to get that priority over the second scuttle, as Vi still on those wolf camps and will potentially then have now priority over both lanes. And with a Lee Sin early on being able to gank, with the fact that you've got dual lane pressure in terms of vision with those scuttles, starts to get a little bit scary now for Vi, particularly you mentioned has to wait till she gets that level 5, farming up even those frogs just to make sure she gets it. And I think now with Lee Sin, what surprises me actually is that he isn't ganking. He isn't ganking under turrets, and that also is props to Trovo for playing so defensively. Look over the positioning of Yasuo beforehand, before that engage, of course, and look at even Kennen, who were far under a turret, but now comes the engage.
For a difference. Oh, I thought he might go for Dragon Kick if he's able to make his way behind. He did have a flash. I was maybe expecting that to happen. Just flash behind, go for the Dragon's Kick, and potentially get yourself an instant kill, because paired with a Shockwave, that would have been strong. But Zor, at the time, was not level 5. It was actually just level 4. So I think that if that ultimate was going to be available, that could have been a completely different play from Singularity. But now he's going to go for it once more. Going to go for the engage. No Dragon's Kick as of yet. Great 2-man Shockwave. And that's going to be nicely paired up. But Yasuo get himself the knockup thanks to the Vi. And that is going to be a very dead Orianna. Zor taken out, and first blood going away of Trovo.
Trovo do pick that one up, and unfortunate 4 of them start to fall down now again for Singularity, who need to make sure they don't fall in the same trap as before, facing up against again. Struggle to contest these fights around these objectives, and that's what went wrong for them. Yasuo, now he's got that lead. You can see him still pressuring over that Orianna, knowing that Aftershock was already used.
Man, you caught me in the middle of my water break. God damn. I was like, oh, I gotta finish. What the hell? But yeah, overall, I agree. I think the Vi there was doing some really good job. And Vi is something that I'm surprised is not played that much, especially in the Eastern esports scene, especially in the Icon series. It's not used that much. You might see it once in a while, but it's not that relevant of a pick-off right now, which I think it's a cheap version of Camille. I don't know if you agree with this one. This might be a little bit of a weird take, but it feels like a cheap version of Camille.
Okay, hit me.
Okay, because you have that solo target engage later on, right? And because that CC knockup is also pretty long animation, is very similar to the oh no, you know what? I'm going to take that one back. Yasuo ultimate going to be actually really valuable. Zhana though peeling, and Brian lost space for a team. But unfortunately for them, Velos is extremely low, so they can't go for round 2. And the poking also of this Corki is just a little bit too good, though. Derek's going to go into the backline. Great peeling coming out, and that's going to be greatly done from this Vi. Sure, she does go down, but it was a worthy sacrifice for a team to stay alive. But yeah, because the ultimate is very similar in a way to Hectic Ultimatum. You just focus down one target, and you're 100% sure, unless they go golden, that they're going to be getting CC'd. So it's very similar, but as I said, it's a cheaper version of a Camille ult.
But the problem with that as well is that a Vi has to travel a little ways to get to that ulti, right? And you can just stasis.
Which is why it's a cheap version.
So yeah, right. It's not going to be as impactful as a Camille Hextech Ultimatum. And I think suffers for Vi the same problem, right, as Zed in this meta. The fact that the stasis still is very easy to buy, and it will always be picked up by the ADCs, by those damage carries. And that is what will hurt Vi going into a later game, particularly against this Yasuo, who will just stasis, come out of stasis, tornado you when you're right in front of his face, get that free knockup.
I said it's maybe a weird call there, okay? But I just think it was an interesting take to go for. But now Drake, talking about take, they're maybe going to look to take that Drake for themselves. For a difference, going to initiate. Got to be careful of how they leash it. They're going to leash it out of the Drake, of the pit, so it's going to get reset and get back to full health very soon. I just realized the music is still on. Oh my god, I forget that very rarely, but sometimes I do. Hey, no, you guys are vibing. Potentially a few cat jams in the chat, even though there's not any cat jams on Trovo. Man, I would like cat jam on Trovo. That would be PogChamp. Talking about PogChamp, also not on Trovo. But just Drake is now going to be taken down to 50% HP. And they should be able to find it without too much of an issue. Kai'Sa is looking maybe for sneaky steal from a distance, but that's a big fat no. But Herald is going to be traded away by far a difference. So you know what? That's a good for bad. At the end, they're going to get that one. And their lane pressure could be rather strong, as in the bottom side of the map. A big engage. Nice CC also with a charm from that Rakan. But Kai'Sa with a high mobility will be able to make it out. And she will remain alive for the time being.
Trovo still facing dominance here against Singularity as they just take now the turrets for themselves. In the bot side, they're going to open up that pressure for coming towards the second dragon. They clear out that blue buff away, and they're starting to take maybe that party bush. So we have to be careful Vex doesn't just go drop straight down. And now it's going to be Singularity in the engage.
They saw Kennen's not here, and they see this opportunity right off. And also, they want to just hunt them down towards the bottom side of the map. So this Herald can freely push, even though they popped it in the middle of the river, which does lose them a little bit of precious time. So I think because of that loss, they might not be able to get as big as a push they were initially expecting. They get one tower, which is still big, but that Herald is unfortunately going to crash into this wave, and that's going to be a little bit of extra gold fed in the pockets of Trovo. The idea was good. I got to say, I think that Trovo were getting hunted pretty well, and Singularity, they got himself a mid tower, the first mid tower, which at the end, hey man, that's amazing. Your pressure that's coming through from those next fights could be detrimental to their winning condition.
Yeah, but keep in mind, it depends where these fights happen, no Max, man, because you also saw that bot tier 1 tower also go down in favor of Trovo. So if the fight happens a little bit lower compared to that mid lane, then it starts to swing in favor once again of Trovo. And keep in mind as well, the slight gold lead actually does go in favor of the side of Singularity, but have to hold that one because it will be the shockwave going to be used by the Orianna. Won't go downward, but now re-engage back in.
Man, that shield. She got her own shield with her ball and also the barrier, and like 50% of her HP was just a huge stonker shield. It's like, come on, bro. Like that should not be okay. But barrier being so heavily focused in this current meta, it does make it really hard to burst someone, especially a champion like Orianna that also has that big CC to peel away with the shockwave. So it makes it really hard to find the lockdown. They're going to go for engage under tower. Vex going to bleed out slowly because of that damage. Gonna go for the re-engage. Rampog, you've been a little bit too confident, mate. Taking way too many tower shots, and that's gonna allow Hydro to go. Oh my god, Hydro! He engaged and just closed your eyes, and he is dead. Double frag gun away on Rampog, and he's just popping the head off. He's not gonna be able to go for the slam dunk down. It doesn't matter. That was a fight that really Trovo were controlling, I would say, but they just fall short, and dominating showing coming out, especially from Rampog on this Darius. I was not expecting that whatsoever.
Yeah, the punish from the disrespect from Trovo 4-bit back Corky could just dive in straight away. And now with the Kennen passive force, that ulti now as well away from the fight. And with that ultimate down, with now that second dragon going to start to come onto the map, that's going to be a crucial potential now for Singularity to be able to take this next fight. Because without that Kennen, without that slicing Maelstrom up for that next fight, that could be so dangerous for them.
Well, can you say the word without again?
Without?
You got so I for the first time I really heavily hear your accents like without.
Without. I could go into a Scottish accent if you want. Max, man.
No, thank you. No,
like,
that's like the one word where it's like, oh yeah, he actually sips through pretty heavily. It's like, oh, that's interesting. The more you know, the more you know. But now Drake is going to be coming up in just the next 10 seconds. It's going to be an ocean one, so of course not the most important one of the bunch. But if you can get it, it is still a pretty nice W to get for yourself. Trovo Nova going down. Be careful though. Will the back paw of Rampong be able to come on through? Oh, so close yet so far. And Grizz is going to go home without any frags going the way of his team. But now they're slowly going to be converting their way towards the Drake. And the reset coming up from Darius is strong. So he's got some extra items under his belt. So this fight should be coming up very soon between these two teams.
This Drake going to be so strong if Trovo Nova take it. Going to be that aggression and that snowball on top of the kills that we've been getting. But the engage now comes through. Trovo Nova won it back.
Oh, Yasuo onto two characters, but the damage is just lacking so heavily, Kennen. A lot of CC also. Sure, a lot of CC is good, but the damage, where the hell is it? I have no goddamn idea. They pick up one kill. Rampog is going to be taken out of the equation entirely, down to 4, and they are chasing down Trovo Nova like it is so damn easy, and Veros should know that he's going to be a casualty. Get himself a little bit of a shield last second. Double kill for the Orianna. And yeah, man, do you see the amount of CC coming out? But there was just absolutely no damage coming out. Very unfortunately for Trovo Nova.
And this was coming off the back of the fact that Kennen didn't have that Slicing Maelstrom up straight away at the start of our team fight. Couldn't just flash in and smack down the multi-man stun and lockdown onto the side of Singularity. Yes, they picked up the dragon, and that's crucial, though. That Vi steals that one away, because had they lost multiple members, had they lost that Ocean Drake, Venice started with a swinging away back in the favor for the side of Singularity, who you see have now extended that gold lead up to now 5,000.
Yeah, 5,000 gold lead. 12 minutes, it's not that scary. I say normally you are looking at a really strong performance, is 1,000 gold advantage per minute of play. So here, if they were really, really in the lead, they'll be around 12,000, potentially even more. So it is something that still I think Trovo Nova can easily deal with. But it is going to require a lot more than just big, flashy wombo combos with the CC, but no damage coming out. So hopefully a little bit more follow-up from Trovo Nova is what I'm going to be looking out for on the next engage. As in the top side, they're waiting for Orianna. They're 100% going to go for that tower dive. No, they're not going to go for it. They're actually going to retract themselves from the equation. Very surprising knowing how Trovo Nova love those engages under tower from time to time. But the lack of information on deep vision into the red side jungle just makes it that they don't want to commit to it. Because suffice to have the rest of the team towards that jungle side, and they would lose 3 players for only 1 kill on the Orianna, which would not be worth it. Trovo Nova taking the safer approach, and they're not going to be taken out whatsoever.
Trovo Nova hold off for now, understanding that they don't maybe have the items right now in the pockets. They go back to shop. Yasuo now brings up potentially towards his 3rd now damage item, has also the stasis in mind. And I think going towards the builds right now, you see also the stasis has already come through, of course, for Orianna, for the Kai'Sa. It's going to make it a lot harder for his Vi to engage. You also see the Kai'Sa starting to just ramp up all the tier 2 items, provide that initial actual advantage in terms of damage, but it will be Trovo Nova engaging in.
Yeah, Vi, there goes some more layers of CC. Not much they can really do now onto the Lee Sin. Gonna have to jump his way to safety. Can I get the triple frag? That could be big. Zoe said he's got a stasis also. So he's going to be able to make it to his tower. But he had the stasis if needed to survive and tank up any incoming damage. But that was it. A little bit of a mistake coming out from Rampog, visiting the bush without any vision beforehand. That is going to be causing his team quite a lot of hurt. But because of how this game is laid out currently, only with a Baron available on the map, they can't turn that kill into anything extra. So sure, they get a kill, they get a little bit of bounty gold. But other than that, they don't really win much out of that trade-off.
And the problem is, I was going to say, Kai'Sa, yes, she's working towards always tier 2 items initially to be able to buff her damage at that moment in time. Now has that Runan's Hurricane on board as well. But Kai'Sa wasn't there for that fight, and Trovo Nova knew that, and he took advantage of the fact that the damage from the Orianna, from the Kai'Sa, just wasn't there. And they sliced down those tanky champions and bring up a kill for himself. Now looking to pressure around for that first tier turret. It still hasn't gone down, but we're going to have to wait a little bit longer. And keep in mind, now we have the Cloud Drake on board. If Trovo Nova steal this 3rd one away, they start to make that goal lead almost useless, really, here, Maximum, because 3 dragons equals out the fact that it's going to be that 5k.
Yeah, it's unfortunate it's just the Ocean Animals and the Mountain Drake. There you go, good wombo combo, but the Oriana still got the stasis, as you mentioned earlier. The charm comes out just by a little bit of time. Shockwave misses completely, and a Kennen straight for the backline, paired up also with the Yasuo. There's not much they could do. Oh my god, Clemmer and Veros, the gods of this game. And now it's going to be an easy ace. They looked like they were behind. And man, Yasuo Kennen on that one made the entire fight just so damn easy versus Singularity. Are they going to win off of that? Are they winning? No way.
They will. They will, because the death timers are still 20 seconds here. You know how fast that base is going to drop, Max, man. You saw when I taught you how fast that base drops, when I used to play a movie with you, how quick it will die. And they will take the series 2-0 against Singularity. And despite the fact they might not have had the better drafts, they show up and they smack Singularity clean 2 games in a row.
These KDs once again just to see, but Clemmer, sure, you haven't got any kills that game, but I just don't give a damn. Trovo Nova, make it happen.